Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Working Man Ron Doyle. In this particular house I'm on the trim out phases. We're on the 2017 N.E.C code. I'm a master electrician in around Salisbury, Maryland area, and I want to do a quick video presentation of installing an outlet into the end of a peninsula. This is a code requirement, and this particular house is it's going to get one. I wait until this application, the cabinets are all installed, the countertops are installed, I'll come back and I'll add an outlet into the end of this peninsula, and I'm going to show you step by steps on how to successfully do this if you choose to do it to your house. The same principles can be done with a peninsula versus an island, and vice versa. This particular installation, as you can see, the pan you around, is connected to a wall, which you can see right there. We have an outlet serving the countertop. That outlet does not serve this peninsula that you see right here. So, things that you're going to need to get started on this thing. We've got a hole saw with a 1-inch hole saw bit, a drill with a 1-inch hole saw bit. We have a 5/8 auger bit, long. We've got a piece of 1/2-inch PVC conduit, which is for wire protection. We're going to need the sticky back zip tie tabs. It's a pull-off two-sided tape on the back of it, and these things actually hold the zip ties. So you can attach wire to this, or you could attach conduit, as we're going to do in this video. But you need approximately 6 to 7 of these, and you're going to need 6 to 7 of the either short or long zip ties. This just happens to be what I have on the truck. These are 11-inch. You're going to need a little bit of silicone and a silicone gun to seal around the wire penetration that goes up through the floor, so we don't have any air coming into the house. We're using a Carlon old work box. This is the box that has the swing ears. When you tighten this screw and that screw, these ears swing out like so, and when you tighten them up, they pinch the surface right in here to attach the box. We're also going to be adding screws into this hole and this hole. We've got a standard flexible Eaton plate, duplex plate, and a standard tamper-proof Eaton receptacle. We're going to use a 12-inch torpedo level, and you're going to have a PVC pipe cutter and possibly a oscillating saw of your choosing. This happens to be the M12 Milwaukee version. I like it because it's got variable speed control and it fits in the palm of your hand. So the blade that you're going to need out is a fine blade. Now the first thing in order that we're going to do is we're going to use a tape measure. I'll pan you over to here, and looking at this drawer assembly from the top of the cabinet down, I'm always measuring 8 inches. So the top of my box is going to be 8 inches down from the bottom of the counter or top of the cabinet. So it's going to be situated right in there. We're going to use a pencil so that we can erase this with a magic eraser. We're going to mark down an 8-inch mark. Then I'm going to take a Sharpie. We're going to find center of our box at 1 7/8. Center of our box is 1 7/8. This particular installation, we're going to be putting it horizontal. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your 12-inch torpedo level, place it on that line, level out, mark a faint line going across. Now from the outside corner trim to here, we're going to measure, and we have 23. Quick way to find center of 23, I mean you all know what 23 is. Quick way to find center of 23, touch the end of the blade down to 23, look down the center, and it's 11.5. Just an extra tidbit of tip for you. Alright, take your box with your mark on it, hold it right up to the center mark that you've marked on the box, horizontally on that level line, and you want to mark the outside of this, and across the bottom. Take your level, finish these lines out. Now, when we cut this, we're going to want to use eye protection and hearing protection. I got my DeWalt headphones, I'm going to plug them in. And we're going to be cutting to the inside of this line, very carefully. Now, this particular cabinet has doors on the bottom and one drawer on the top. Now, this 8-inch mark that you see down misses the drawer, and it misses the drawer slide that goes to the back of the cabinet. So our box is going to be just below that, and we shouldn't be in any danger of our slide in the top of our box hitting. So let me get my ear protection on, and we'll cut this out. The other tidbit information, if you all have sensitive ears where you're putting in rubber plugs to protect for sound deadening, lick the tip of it. It helps when you insert it into your ear, causing rash and chafe on the inside. As you can see, me cutting this out, you want to make sure you don't get too crazy and punch that out and chip the inside. So let the bit do the work. This bit is a little bit dull. You've seen it smoking. But you can see that I'm able to wipe that off. Now where I cut the inside of all of these lines, that box will fit nice and snug. Very, very little rattle, nice and tight. So I'm going to get a magic eraser and we're going to clean this up a little bit. Now I'm on a job site. We don't have any water, so if you ever push this box in and you notice that it's stuck, what has happened is this particular ear on this side has fell down, causing it to get locked in place. So I'll show you how to remove that. Take a Phillips screwdriver, put it on that Phillips screw, and turn it lightly until it stops. Basically what has happened is that ear fell inside, was pinching the cabinet, keeping me from pulling it out. We're going to take our magic eraser. Oh my goodness, it didn't wipe it off. We don't have any water at this job site. Water's not turned on yet. Forgive me, Mom, if you're watching this. Mom's always good for getting rust off of a car bumper. Put a little spit on this. Works wonders. Nobody ever know you did it. And don't tell anybody I did this. So, we're going to get our box installed. And look for a power screwdriver, it's on the ladder. Alright, we're going to install 2 screws on the opposite sides of the swing ears to help in stability and holding it into this cabinet. Let me get it. So we've got our 1/16 drill bit stuck into our drill. I'm going to put it on a slight angle. Drill those 2 out. And we are going to be installing number 4 1/2 inch long screws. They are very, very tiny. Got a real small head on them. And believe it or not, that is a number 1. And that fits in these holes perfectly. So we've got a number 1 Phillips bit. Give it a little bit more holding power from somebody unplugging a cord. These tamper-proof receptacles that we're installing can be a booger, and I'd hate to see this get loose and wiggle over time. So I'd rather put the protection in now. Now underneath this cabinet, we've got a shelf with adjustable pin sets on the sides. We're going to to take our shelf, we'll remove our shelf. Set that to the side. And you could use a stud finder, and you could use a rubber mallet. I usually use my hand, and I'll run across the floor. We've got a floor joist located right here, which is, oh my goodness, it's right on 8 inches from the edge of the cabinet over. So I know our hole that we have to drill is going to be within between 4 and 5 to the back right corner of this cabinet. So I'm going to get you in position so you can. All right, now you can see this is the inside of the cabinet that I've got the box already installed, and you can see we've got plenty of clearance over the top of the box, so no problems there. Now, where this particular cabinet has a shelf that's in the back of it, it's susceptible to physical damage. So the NM wire that we're running into this old box has to be protected from physical damage. You can do that with MC cable. You can do it with AR cable. You can do it with seal tight. You can do it with a conduit. You can do it with wire mold, either the plastic or the steel version. And where I always have conduit on my truck, I choose to use a 1/2-inch PVC conduit for physical wire damage. Now, the code will allow you to put NM wire, which is non-metallic wire, in a 24-inch piece of PVC pipe. It's considered a sleeve, not a conduit raceway. It is allowable, so that's what we're going to be installing on this back wall. Now, to get started, we know we're at 8 inches from where our floor joist is from here over. So I'm going to place a mark at 5. I'm going to draw a mark down here at the base. Okay. Now the back of this cabinet has a back holding plate that's down, and it's approximately a 1/2 inch out from the back of this cabinet. So I'm going to mark a little line back there. I'm going to make sure our hole saw starts on the facing of that, so we're not cutting the back of the support out from the bottom of this floor in this cabinet. So we've got our 1-inch hole saw installed. I'm going to center it up. Okay, now this is the hole saw that we're using for 1/2-inch PVC to slide through. This hole is going to be slightly bigger than the hole that I drilled through the base floor. I'm going to unchuck our bit, and we're installing the 5/8 long auger bit. Place that down in the hole. Hold your drill somewhat level. All right, we missed the floor joist. Take that out. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to pan you up to the top of our box so we can get a perimeter. Now I'm punching through on the top of this hole, the wire holding device on the top of this old work box. So we're going to take our level. We'll place it up there like so. Draw a line across the back side. Now our wire has to land in between the two lines that I've got. Now we're going to add through the floor measurement to this measurement, and we want maximum protection from our wire getting damaged. So we need to add 18.5 and 6. About 24.5. So we're going to cut a 24-inch piece for a sleeve for wire protection. So we've got a piece of conduit right here. We'll give a mark on this. Get our mark. Get my shuffle right here. Get our mark at 24. They don't call me Butterfingers for nothing. So now I'm going to take my utility knife and we're going to chamfer the end of this pipe to take off the burr. I'll stick it in there like that. Scribe that around. Make sure there's no burrs that's going to catch your finger. And then I'll scribe off the top. And I'll do the same thing to the other side. All right, well that's done. No burrs to snag our NM wire that's going through this. Let's take this pipe and insert it through the floor. Now those two holes are going to line up. And what I'm going to do is take our pencil at our torpedo level, place that on there like that. All right, and then I'm going to mark from the bottom to the top. Now I'm going to line my conduit up with that mark, and I'm going to mark the top. So all of our sticky pads have to line up on this pipe that we have. Now our shelf goes right across here. That's where our shelf's at. We don't want to put a sticky pad where our shelf's going to be. So get the dust out of the way. I'm going to take our sticky pads off the back, pull them off. I'm going to stick the first one about 3 or 4 inches up. Try to make sure this back wall doesn't have any dust on it. I'm going to place the next one directly under where our shelf is going to be. I'm going to place another one. Oh, that one's separated. And I'm going to place another one a couple inches above the shelf. Right there. And I'm going to place another one above that, just below the top of where our conduit stops. Now these are going to be going around the perimeter to hold the top of the wire in. Let me pan you back a little bit so you can see what's going on. Get my big head out of the way. We're going to put one right there for the wire turning. Excuse me. And place another one about 4 inches from our box right there. And we're going to place the last one over toward the corner, like so. Now that we've got that in place, we're going to pre-install our zip ties. Now the reason some of you are going to ask, why don't I just secure it to the back of this cabinet? The electrical inspectors asked me the same question. This back of this cabinet's a 1/4 inch thick. Excuse me. The decorative back of the cabinet is 3/16 thick. So we've got less than a 1/2 inch to insert a screw. Then you can use the screws through the back of these. That's a small, short screw. And if you accidentally drill through, well, I'm kind of responsible for replacing the back of this cabinet. I don't want to be responsible for that. These are a much safer option from accidental drilling. I would highly recommend that you get these. Spend a little bit extra money and possibly get the ones with 3M sticky tape. They'll hold up a little bit better for you. So now that we've got these installed, we're going to go ahead and take our conduit, we'll sit it down, and I'm not going to make these super tight right from the get-go. Just put them on loosely so the pipe can still move. Just on the ones for the pipe. Like so. Alright. Next step is we're going to take our shelf. We're going to get our shelf cut to go around this conduit. So get your shelf installed like that and slide the shelf to the back. Center it up, right side to left side. Push it against the conduit that's in the back. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to mark a line on either side of that conduit. Okay. Make sure you have the decorative edge of the shelf facing forward. Sometimes they only dress one side of the shelf. This is a plywood shelf. You want to make sure you drill the back side of it. So we're going to take this, get you set up. We're going to drill this out. Now, as you can see, the plywood. This is the back of the shelving unit, and we've got our 2 marks right here. What we're going to do, hang this over the countertop. We're going to sight down on the hole saw and make sure that we're within the 2 lines. Okay? Don't drill all the way through, because you'll chip the back of this out. Flip it over. Trying to be careful not to chip this. Take your plug out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect each side of this so it makes a slot. Take your oscillating saw. And ladies and gentlemen, get close up. That's how you do it without chipping the surface. Nice clean application. And what that slot is going to allow you to do is to insert this over the. Let's see if I get it in here. All right, that allows you to insert the shelf over top of the conduit, so the shelf goes all the way back and lands on these pins. You want to make sure wherever you put this conduit that it is not lined up with the pinholes, because if the conduit's in the way, if you put the conduit say in the corner here, right here, it's going to impede the use of these holes with the conduit being in the way. So make sure you're out in the clear before you do this installation. Now we're going to take and go underneath the house. You're going to find a wire that feeds this peninsula, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's fed off of this. It's fed off of this outlet. It goes under through a series of holes. We're going to go underneath the house. We're going to find it, shove it up. All the extra wire will come up through the back of the conduit, and then we'll enter it into the box and we'll get it hooked up. So let me get my seeing apparatus on, and we'll do a little crawl. Stay tuned. Hopefully we don't meet Slim under here. Oh, me and Slim don't get along. And it looks like the insulators have already beat me here. Oh, wow, brand new plastic. How do y'all like that fine quality? I don't think that's supposed to have a cut in it. You can see our wire hanging down. I apologize for the shakiness. I'm using a cell phone and a magnetic mount. So, there's our wire that's coming out of the wall box. So we are about, I'm gonna say right here is where we should be coming through. It's like the plumbers laid the sprinkler pipe over top of the drainage line. Why would they do that? We're gonna take our insulators holding wires out, pull down our insulation. Look at that. A lucky guess. There's the hole. Right there. That's where we're going. Right there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th joist bay. So now the code implements we either have to have a nailer board running down the bottom of this floor joist in a crawl space application to prevent wire damage. If somebody were to crawl through here, hit their head on the wire, it's wire protection. Or you can drill each and every joist. So we're going to drill these joists all the way up to this point, and apparently I didn't pre-drill any of these. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to confirm there's no obstacles, and right here you can see there's a water pipe right here. Put your hand up here and make sure there's nothing else up, so when we drill through here, we're not going to drill through that water pipe. And you want to do the same thing on the back sides of each joist. to make sure there's no thermostat wires, pipes, drainage lines. Make sure there's nothing through each one of these, and make sure you don't get your auger bit caught up in this fiberglass, because it's going to make a heck of a mess and twist it all up, rip it out. So as the crow flies, we're going to do a straight line as the crow flies. So centered right here, straight down. I'm going to repeat the process. And the lines that you see when the drill goes up with the light coming on is the effects of the LED pulsating. You can see the lines rippling going across. Alright. Now I'm going to set you up to where you can see what I'm doing here. Find a spot. Oh my goodness, we're going to find a spot to stick you. Hold on just a second. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got plenty of wire. I'm going to turn my hat light on. You want to make sure that the conduit is lined up with the hole. And apparently it's a little out. So I'm going to give it a little bit of guidance here with a single strand of wire to move it over. Let me show you all what I'm dealing with. Now I left it loose at the top. You can see in that hole, conduit's kind of cattywampus. So, let me see if I can get you set up on this where you all can see what I'm doing here. Alright, this is going to take a couple trips. Get this lined up, go back inside the house. Let's see what we got. Conduit pushed up and the wire pushed the conduit up. So I grab it. I didn't mean to hit you all. If you're already, you slap you silly with a wire. Pull up the extra wire. Now I'm gonna go underneath, check, make sure it's not all kinked up. So, be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I promised I wasn't sleeping on the job. Now we got the wire installed underneath the house. Everything is tidied up under there. Insulation's put back, wires are put back, the push wires. We're gonna insert this into our box. Now keep in mind, this is the kitchen counter circuit, so it has to be GFCI, AFCI protected on the 2017 code, and it still has to be secured within 12 inches of the box if the box holding clamp is not broke out. And if it's broke out, you have to support it within 8 inches of the box. So we get more than adequate support here. So I'm going to zip tie these wires up in place. Just don't tighten these too tight to where you break the sticky pads off the wall. And then tighten the ones up on your conduit. Get your side cutters. Side cutters dikes. Cut them off flush so they don't cut anybody. Alright, we got that done. Let's take you outside the cabinet, wire this outlet, and finish this part of the process. Now in this particular procedure, keep in mind you need from the back of the box to the front of the wire, you need a minimum of 6 inches to be code compliant. So I usually like leaving 8. 8 inches is approximately there. We're going to cut, we're going to strip back, get a utility knife, go about 1/2 inch from the back of the box, go very light. Score heavy on the end, put your blade in the back, put your blade in the center of the wire, pull. No slice dice. We don't want to accidentally nick the insulating jacket on the neutral or the hot wire. Now, I'm trying these Milwaukee hybrid lineman's pliers out. So far I like them. They're pretty nice. We're going to bend a hook on the ground. We're going to strip back about 7/8 to 1 inch on the hot, 7/8 to 1 inch on the neutral. Going to grab 3/8 of an inch of the end, twist it over. Same thing on that. Now on this particular outlet, this is an old work box. I'm going to give you a close-up of this. This box has got a little recess right here and here on both sides. Now if you were to install this without snapping these ears off, it's going to sit on top of the box and it's going to be protruding, and your cover plate is not going to flush up like it needs to. So what I like to do to prevent accidental damage and breaking all of this out, I'll take my side cutters dikes, and on the lines that are on the facing, I'll slide them all the way up. I'll put a little squeeze on it, and I'll cut that off. Instead of folding and breaking and possibly messing up the hole, I'll use these Klein dikes, and I'll cut those off. Now, across the top, there's a line. You can see that. I'm going to put the cutter on that line, and I'm not going to cut it, but I'm going to give it a little squeeze, and then I'm going to grab a hold of it like that, and I'm going to rock that off. And that keeps you from bending the yoke strap up on this device, causing the device not to marry flush with the box. I do the same thing on both sides to give it a head start. Now we're going to install our ground. Silver screw, we're going to install our neutral on. Tighten that up. The extra screw that we're not using, go ahead and tighten that up. Gold color screw is your hot side. Put your black wire on it, tighten that up. Tighten the extra gold screw up. Take your wires. Okay, your wire enters the box, back of the box on this side. I'm going to push the wires that way. I'm going to coil the wires to the back of the box. And I'm going to do a light spiral spin to it so the wires nestle nicely in the back. Now, code requirement, if you're putting an outlet in a horizontal fashion, the neutral, white, and the ground screw have to be face up. And the efforts of doing that, if somebody were to come back and remove my cover plate and put a metal cover plate on, a ferrous cover plate, a metallic cover plate, if the screw gets loose and there's a plug plugged into this, if the screw gets loose on a ferrous or metallic plate, if it were to fall with the receptacle and the plug plugged in, it won't arc out as greatly as it would if you were to put the hot side face up. So, N.E.C. code, the neutral and the ground face up. No utility knife required. Grab the corner, peel it off. I'm going to use a straight slot screwdriver to put our cover plate on. Make sure you don't cross thread this. And snug her up. If you find out that your plate across the top is not level, you take the cover plate back off and adjust your screws so you can get level in your receptacle, and then you can put your cover plate back on. Now for code application, this receptacle has to be within 12 inches from the top of the countertop. Now where we went 8 inches down from the bottom, from here down, we're right at about 10 3/8 of an inch. So we're within code of doing this peninsula. Now what I'm going to do, you all don't need to see this, but I'm going to put silicone at the top of the conduit. I'm going to put silicone around the base of the conduit to keep pests from coming up and cool air. You all know how to use silicone. I don't need to show you all that. But I'm going to do that to complete the application of this receptacle. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you all like this video and thought it was helpful and informative in any way, greatly appreciate if you all press the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for future videos on things electricians do. I wish you all a wonderful and blessed day. Until the next time, stay safe out there.